Trump bought a Tesla. Brad, you were just telling me that off air. What you mean? Like a car Tesla? Like a car or a Cybertruck?
No, it was, I don't know. It's either, I think it's a Y. Is it Tesla Y? It's kind of the newest.
And can you see Trump driving anything for real, though? I mean,
no, he said he's going to keep it around the White House so people can use it.
Is that what that picture was, that red car he was getting out of? I thought it was some AI shit. Somebody was just trying to be funny or something.
No.
Because it looked odd watching Trump get out the front seat of a car. It just, you don't see that ever. Trump's in planes,
I think one
jets,
of the reporters
limos.
asked him if you're buying or leasing, It's like, oh, okay. Really?
Yeah, like president or not, he just does not get out the driver's seat of anything.
No, it's just very odd seeing Trump, like you said, get out the driver's seat of anything. I mean, it's been decades since that man's probably been behind the wheel, besides a golf cart,
Right.
But yeah, I did see that picture on there of him with that Tesla. I thought it was fake because it just looked so weird, like seeing that. But
you think you'd be able to let somebody drive you around all the time if you had the money for like a driver all the time?
Absolutely.
Like, as far as being comfortable enough?
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it would take a minute to get used to, just because, I want to be in control behind the wheel.
Yeah.
But I guess I could.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I guess I could try it.
Yeah.
But I know if it's like a long trip, I'm wanting to drive. Justin got his fucking little baby kid dogs running around barking. No. But speaking of Tesla, I seen they apparently blowing up fucking Cybertrucks everywhere right now.
Oh, really?
You didn't see that? You didn't see all that vandalism going on with them Cybertrucks, man? All because they're pissed off at Elon?
Yeah.
Like,
I saw they were fucking one up at the parade.
Yeah, and like not even Elon's trucks, just people that have them and happen to be in the area. I mean, they're like burning them down and just, like Justin said, throwing shit at them. And I mean, I was watching them spray paint on the side of them, just random people that have these Cybertrucks, all because they've been told now to be pissed off at Elon.
That's crazy. Did you see the note that someone got left on their Tesla? It was something about like Tesla being a Nazi company and like you still have time to sell it. And we understand that you bought a Tesla hoping that you were doing the right thing at the time, but before the value of them tanks, you should get rid of it. And here's some other options of EVs that the owners of the companies aren't just Nazis? Big Nazis. And yeah.
That makes me want to go out and buy a Tesla, and it
really does.
It's probably Elon's plan. It's probably him behind all this, trying to build it up as some patriotic thing now to go buy a Tesla, But it's got me, hook, line, and sinker. I want to go get one now.
He needs to release one like from the factory, just American flag wrapped. Just a model, just American flag out there.
Yeah, I seen
like Doge, wrapped in Doge.
They were fucking up the Cybertrucks, and then they were actually doing all these protests at these facilities, like vandalizing shit. Like they're going hardcore on Elon right now. Damn. And that's the script they got. They've been told to do it. They're being funded by somebody.
Right.
I mean, somebody's funding these clowns to sit out there and protest all this shit. But it's just funny how they flip the script so quick. Yeah. It's like now everything's off of Trump right now for a second, and it's all geared towards Elon.
Yes. Everything.
And they all just lockstep, boom, boom, boom. There it goes. Now all the left.
Gone.
Well, of course they do. It's getting dangerous for them, man.
You think they just it's just an accumulation of shit that he's finding, or you think that they know he's getting close to something bigger?
I think it's probably a mix. I think it's shit that they have found, and they know he's not going to stop. There's no end to it. Mm-hmm. Like there's no sign of it just quitting now, because they're way off of the dollar amount that they were estimating they're going to be able to save. So it's like every day more and more and more. So I just think they've had enough. It's like, okay, we got to get rid of this guy somehow.
But do you think there's going to be is there going to be the bombshell soon? Like, here it is.
I don't think so. I just think this money was spread out in so many places that it shouldn't have been. I don't really think. I mean, unless it was like, taxpayers' money went to funding Epstein Islands.
Yeah, we bought the Epstein Island.
The adventures going on at Jeffrey's place over there. That would be a bombshell. But all of this shit where they're laundering money through these different foundations and all that shit, I don't think that really surprises anybody. I don't know how there can be any bombshell out of that. It would take like they were funding Diddy parties, with taxpayer money.
Right.
And then it's like, holy shit, But I just think it's a bunch of bullshit, organizations they were creating and finding ways to just funnel this money. And And I think that's all it is. I think you're just going to see a lot more of what you've been seeing, but the money figures are just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's just making them look worse. And when I say them, I just mean the government as a whole, and they don't want that. It's one thing the government needs, or they always want to, they want the citizens to trust them. So their biggest game they like to play is that we're here for you. And as soon as you start pulling that, taking that facade away and you start looking behind the curtain, they know the game is over.
Yep.
And they can't have that. It's too much money and making us believe that they're doing the right thing. So I think that's all they're afraid of, is that they got to stop their bullshit for a while now. Because even after Trump is gone, they've done expose what's really going on. So it's not like they can get right back to it. You know what I mean? They just have to build back up to this now if Trump and them ruin that little game they've been playing. So now they know, fuck, we got years now to get back to where we were, to where the American people are just kind of not paying any attention anymore, which is going to be a while now.
Yeah,
So,
you know what really sucks, though, is like the next administration, say, is Democrat that gets in, right? They could like just come out and say, hey, we're going to blow your money on dumb shit for the next 4 years, and we're not going to do anything. Nothing. We're just going to bitch.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. That's about it. And like you said, they could come out. And,
it's just the helpless. Like, what do you can't do anything. You know?
Yeah.
Well, just like the last 4 years, basically.
No, pretty much.
We can bitch, but what can you really do when they were controlling everything?
Well, and that's what I mean. I think they're starting to see that they're losing that control a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what's got them so panicked right now, and you can see they're hell bent on getting rid of the one that's doing it.
Oh yeah.
But you're starting to find it, man. It's like I think what was that FBI, whatever, Kash Patel. I think it was 3. I think 2 active U.S. Army soldiers and 1 that was retired. That he got arrested and pressing charges. Apparently, they were selling fucking secrets to China and shit. You know?
Hard drives and shit.
Yeah, and if
I bet you that runs more rampant than you really think.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. That I guarantee that's not the only 3 people that are doing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they should be. Well, the full extent of the law. I mean, wouldn't that be punishable by death?
Treason. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
wouldn't that be
They'd be
classified?
locked up in that.
I would
what's that?
think
What's
so.
that prison in Colorado where they put all the terrorists and shit in?
Guantanamo Bay?
That's in Cuba.
No, that's in Cuba. Yeah, which
We're talking about the Supermax in Colorado.
There's a Supermax in Colorado
No, I
where they
didn't know
put
that.
all the
shoe?
like
No, the shoe was
the
treason,
shoe special housing unit.
Yeah.
it's basically everybody for treason, everybody like terrorists, like the Boston bomber that's left, he's locked up in there, and shit like that. But it's like lockdown. Like
Yeah, it's like you locked
down
in there 23 hours a day or something.
But on something like these assholes are doing, as far as selling secrets to our enemy, basically, I mean that should be death penalty. From what I understand, it can be, right?
I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah,
it should be. Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's written. Yeah.
Yeah, and you what's up, Teddy Skull? Just subscribed and joined. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
What's going
Adrian,
on?
what up?
How you doing? Thank y'all for checking it out. But yeah, I would think if they actually go through with something like that and give some kind of harsh penalty, then it'll make people think twice before they do that shit.
Right.
Because I'm with what you said, Brad. You know that shit's running rampant.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not just those 3 guys. Now, I'm sure everybody else that's doing it or has done it starting to look at it like, oh, shit, like he might be coming for me next. But you got to do something to these people, man. And I think they will. I think they have no choice but to, really, really come down with some harsh punishment on them people.
Yeah, no doubt. What about I seen Buddy pled guilty. Was it today? The Border Patrol agent that was looking at titties for free entry into the country.
So he
pled guilty.
So what was he? I saw the headline, but what was he doing?
He basically had a migrant woman flash him in order to let her kind of just sneak on by the system,
Okay. And
he got caught.
Hey, man. I mean, look, they're sneaking over anyway, so I mean.
Yeah, I was just like the risk versus reward for that. Like,
well, that is
just
true.
So far off.
That is true.
I mean?
So you get fired. You're lucky if you don't get prosecuted, and all you get to do is see a pair of tits. I'm with
That's
you.
it.
Yeah. It's not really worth it. It's not. Whose dog? That's your dog's going crazy? Yeah, assholes. So anyway, yeah. So speaking of law enforcement, man, doing dumb shit, did you see that that California sheriff that they had to give his ass Narcan because he decided to smoke some of the seized fentanyl in the station?
I did. I saw
I'm
bits
like,
and pieces
what
of that.
in the fuck? Maybe. Like, what? Yeah, apparently he went in the station bathroom and decided he was going to smoke some of this fentanyl. And I'm like, of all people that should know the dangers of what that could do to you, they should have let his dumb ass fucking just die, honestly. And it's probably harsh to say, but you should know that. You know what this shit does. I didn't even know
you could smoke fentanyl. I mean, it's like a...
Well, you can smoke anything, Brad. Just like you can milk anything with nipples. Isn't that what Robert De Niro said?
Absolutely.
Can you milk me, Greg?
Yeah, I've got nipples. Can you milk me, Greg? Yeah, I guess you can smoke anything, but
yeah, I guess so, man.
But I'm thinking of all the people to do some stupid shit like that.
Absolutely.
A cop, that probably wasn't the one who arrested the guy that had it.
Oh yeah.
Like, Jesus, man, what a dumbass. He deserves everything he got. I wouldn't have wasted no Narcan on that fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's the he was like on the bathroom floor, I guess, laid
out.
Yeah,
laid out in the bathroom. I got a picture of him, man, lips all blue. I mean, dude, I'm like I said, it's hard to have any hard to have any sympathy for the idiot. I mean,
absolutely.
You're a cop. Come on, man. It's not like you're just some junkie or, some kid that got a hold of it. I mean, you purposely went in the evidence, locker room or whatever they call it, and took this shit and then went in the bathroom to smoke it.
Well,
what are you
wasn't
doing?
There, it may have been Alabama recently where a 911 dispatcher, he OD'd in his office, and a few cops and people in the sheriff's department and shit got arrested, and I think the whole sheriff's department got shut down
for what?
Because he was stealing fentanyl out of the evidence room, and the sheriff knew about it. And they had there was a hole in the wall to the evidence room that they could get in, access it, and it all came to light, and a bunch of people just went to jail over it and shut down the whole department.
And they were selling this shit or using it?
Using it. It was somebody that worked at the sheriff's office. I don't know if it was a dispatcher or somebody in a back office. I believe it was a dispatcher, but he wound up dying at the sheriff's office.
Damn.
And when they came in, there was just fentanyl all over the place. They found out he was just ganking it out the evidence room. And
what's wrong with these people that are the ones, like I said, the ones in law enforcement? They know what that's to be like a paramedic, stealing it, finding, saving somebody and then digging in their pocket, finding it and saying, "Ooh, let me do this." I mean, they get what they whatever, man. They deserve everything they get from that.
That's what I said. I was like, I mean, he knew what he was doing. You don't steal fentanyl and not expect it to kill you.
I wouldn't think. I mean, I don't know. Imagine wanting to try it that bad when you know what it does. Yeah. Brad, what's your take on Pam Bondi, bro? I haven't talked to you in a week or so about that name.
It's been a while.
What you think, man? You still got faith in this woman or what?
I do. I do. And I guess you're talking about the Epstein.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not what she did, it's what she hasn't done.
Yeah.
Well, what is she? What is she supposed to be doing?
Oh, she's the attorney general, man. She's the one who said, one who said, I have this files. They're basically on my desk, and day one, I'm going to release them. We ain't seen a fucking thing. Nothing.
No.
Nothing. I mean, you still got
I don't know.
faith in
I don't
her?
know what to think about that, man. I really don't. You would think that, unless it's, I know she was talking the other day about it, that of course her main concern is protecting the 250 victims that are involved. With redacting that I don't know. I think there's higher powers, Shane, that are really probably suppressing that because of, and like I've always said, I think if that comes out, it might rock the moral fabric of the country to know of the people that are on there.
Well, I get the protective victims thing if it's just a day or so that it's put off. You know what I mean? Because it's like, how long is it honestly going to take you to and you think that shit hasn't been already ciphered through? And it's not like the Epstein shit just happened. I mean, it had to be broken down already as far as the client list and the victim list. So I mean, I don't know, man. I would buy that if it was just for a day. And then I think they came with the excuse that the FBI in New York or whatever,
the New York district,
right, they wouldn't give them the list, so that was the next excuse. I haven't heard one lately. I don't know what's going on with it. I think people just kind of lost faith that we were ever going to see that. But I will say they were reporting. The Wall Street Journal was reporting that Kash Patel, he requested a direct, secure line from his home and FBI office to the Oval Office, bypassing Attorney General Pam Bondi and the traditional chain of commands.
Wow.
Yeah. So what does that tell you? If anything, maybe we're looking too far into it or too deep into it. But, according to the Wall Street Journal, that he had requested that. He basically wanted to bypass her. So, like you said, I don't know. I don't know if that's the first time that's ever happened or if that's, something that's typical. But, the way it's being reported is it's not a regular occurrence. So
somebody's going to fist fight soon, and I can't wait.
Who's it going to be?
I don't know, man.
Who should it be? Elon and who? No, Elon can't fight. Who can we set Cash up to fight? Every time I see his eyes, he looked like he would he choked the shit out of you.
Yeah, maybe we put like Cash and JD, dude.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, dude. Cash looks like a bad motherfucker. I ain't messing with him. But
I agree.
Maybe see. Pam and the spokes chick.
Pam and the spokes chick. Man, speaking of fighting, you seen that damn track runner that smacked that girl in the back of the head with that baton and then claimed
I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
An accident?
You fixing to see it. Hold on. Let's pull it up. It's easy enough. Let's pull it up. Where's it at? Let's see. All right. We're going to put it big. Let's make it the main. They don't need to see our ugly faces while we're watching this. All right. Watch this, Brad. Tell me if this looks accidental. Right there. You see it?
I seen her trip. I seen her trip. She,
Where's it at? Right there.
There.
And she put out a statement, saying that she would never do that and that the baton got caught in the girl's hair or some shit. But, I mean, I don't know.
That looks deliberate.
It really did. And they said that girl, had a concussion and they were afraid she had a fractured skull. I mean, apparently the batons are pretty heavy.
That's
it's
what
just
I was
like a
thinking.
piece of aluminum,
what the hell is it made out of? Jeez.
It's a piece of aluminum.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, and it's like, from what I remember back in my younger youth when I would run track at the playground, it was just a piece of aluminum and hollow in the middle, but it was pretty thick,
Yeah. I mean, but
enough to cause some damage.
Now, is it just me? Or, I mean, does it look deliberate?
It looks deliberate.
Because I had, I posted something about it on TikTok last night or the night before or whatever, and there's people in the comments, saying, "Oh, you're only showing one part of the video. If you look at the back," and I'm like, there ain't nothing else to look at. I mean, it looked like she just got frustrated, and I don't know. I mean, maybe she was just swinging her arms around and didn't realize the girl was coming up on her. But I don't know. The shit looked deliberate to me. But she put out a little tearful, apology or whatever. But I was thinking, man, that's pretty harsh, dude. But hey, sports, bro. Can't take it. Honestly,
there, dude.
You'd get more views if they let them do that in track and field,
I'm telling you,
it's survival of the fittest, man. Running around with batons, just smacking the shit out of each other. I like it, dude.
It's the best part of any sports.
Look, I haven't watched none of that shit in forever, and then as soon as that video came out, I'm like, oh, look, track and field,
Exactly.
Smack. Like, hell yeah, I'll take it. Oh, some idiot needs advice. We ain't going with that. Anyway, did you try to – I went in panic mode yesterday. I don't know if any of y'all tried to get on X, and the whole thing was out. Like, they were getting –
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, they were getting annihilated. Somebody was – some kind of cyber attack. Elon came out and said that there was some shit going on that was going on all day long. I thought it was my phone at first, and then I had to get on Facebook to find out that X was hacked or whatever. And
is it back now? I assume it's back. You were probably just on it.
It's back. It just, supposedly these people, they weren't doing it for any political reasons. They were, just trying to make a point of how powerful they were or some shit. The people that are claiming to be the ones behind it now. I mean, I can claim I did it, I guess. But
so they didn't ask for anything? Or
they just got it where it kind of, you couldn't get on it. It just wouldn't load anything,
Wow.
So I don't know what their point was
so
to
weird.
it. Yeah, I'm with you. I'd be like, look, man, $5 million, I'll let you have, But I guess they got access to it, like Elon and them, his team. So
yeah,
it wasn't like a ransom thing.
That's what I didn't know, if they gave it back or if Elon and his team took it back.
No, I think they did what they had to do to try to secure it. But when he first
in a basement tied up.
Yeah, well, when he first posted about it, he said that they had been going on all day and they're still going on, basically, at that time when he was finally able to get back on there. But he was letting everybody know that, we're working through it. But, yeah, they got hit hard, man. They got smacked, like took the whole damn system down. But and then they're trying to say it's not politically motivated. And it's like everything they're doing right now that involves Elon is politically motivated.
Everything.
Absolutely.
I mean, it just so happens that these people get into his shit, I don't buy it.
No,
I don't
but
buy
it's
it
just
at all.
weird they didn't put anything out, like
like because
so weird.
Well, maybe it was a political thing, and they were doing just what they said. We were just trying to show you what we can do.
Maybe,
or maybe it was just some kid
like
who
when
got
they send
lucky.
you a picture of like you sleeping.
Yeah,
they're like just let me know.
How freaky would that be?
Oh my god!
Somebody wants something from you, and you check your mailbox or something, and there's a picture of you laying in bed. Like, we know where you sleep. No, first thing I do is run to my old lady, like, hey, what the fuck's going on? Who are you in cahoots with?
Yeah, right.
Sell the house. We're moving out tonight.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Did you see the text that Ye sent to what's that big bone rapper's name? The one that was on the couch.
Big bone rapper. The girl?
No, the dude.
Oh, the one that fell off. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
big dude. Yeah.
Him and Ye had a text conversation, and Kanye was like, basically, what's with the allegations going out that I'm seeing about you, yada yada. I thought you were different. Like, lose my trainer's number. And dude was like, "Yay, that wasn't me. That was funny dude.
Druski.
He was like, that wasn't me. That was Druski." And Kanye was like, "Oh shit, my bad. Never mind. How many pounds have you lost since you got with my trainer?" And it's just like.
Was that the allegations of the Diddy stuff?
Yeah.
Because I seen they threw Druski's name in, and I'm like, man, I didn't know whether to believe that. Like, as far as anybody who starts to be on top or starts to make some kind of headway in this, industry or any industry, pretty much, there's people coming at you now. Yeah, and I'm thinking, man, now they coming after Druski, man. I like Druski. I was just telling you the other day how much I like Druski. He's funny. He's a funny guy.
And OBJ.
Yeah, and then now all of a sudden he's being implemented in this Diddy shit. Now, he doesn't come out, of course, and put out a statement on X saying that, it's bullshit or whatever, but it was him and Odell Beckham Jr., the football player. So, now, like I said, I mean, I don't want to just sit up here and say it's total bullshit, if there were victims in it and he was part of it, but it just seems crazy that anytime somebody's on top of anything, they coming.
I just didn't think he was famous long enough to be part of a Diddy party.
Isn't that kind of what he was saying, too? I think that's what he was saying in his
statement.
Oh, you didn't see it? Let me see. I'm going to pull it up real quick. I'll read it. Yeah, Brad, you know Druski? You probably know him if you've seen him. Yeah, he's a funny dude. He's a black guy and a comedian. He's funny as shit, some of his skits that he does. But, let's see. The allegations... fabricated lie. I wasn't a public figure in 2018. I was broke living with my mom without any connections to the entertainment industry, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, you're right. That's kind of how I would look at it, too. Do you think somebody that was broke living with their mother was being invited to Diddy parties?
That's what I thought when I saw he was being accused. I was like, Druski hasn't been famous very long. Like,
yeah. It's a shame you even got to come out and defend yourself with shit like that, especially if you didn't do anything, because that's some harsh allegations, man. Nobody wants to be put in the middle of anything like that.
Right.
I mean,
and it's not even like Twitter allegations, right? Like, it's a lawsuit. Like,
oh, yeah, it's a lawsuit. Like, he's named in. Yeah, and it's like that shit don't go away no matter. You could be found innocent, and there's always going to be people that look at you and think otherwise, just because, for one, you're in the limelight, and it's just never going to go away. You're always going to be looked at as that guy that could have done something like that to somebody, And it's a pretty shitty fucking baggage to have to carry around when you're totally innocent.
Yep. Because that's what they do, like Drake and shit, he's never been, I guess, found guilty on anything in court, but they're like, oh, Drake's a rapist,
Yeah, because
he was
accused of that shit too.
Yep.
And that's what I mean. The allegations like that get thrown out so much with people that are famous that you never know which one to believe. I mean, it's crazy, you know. I mean, you hate to just blow it off if it is true, you know, if there is a victim involved, but it's like, God damn. It's not every famous person in the world can't, you know, I'm sure hasn't sexually assaulted somebody. I mean, it's like, damn, it never ends. You know, and then it's like what Druski was saying, like, what the hell am I doing at a Diddy party when I don't have a pot to piss in? Nobody knew who I was.
Exactly.
You know? So, yeah, it does make a little sense as far as on his end. But
old Diddy.
Yeah, that's that crazy shit, man. What else do I see crazy? Oh, I seen they firing squad, you know, killed somebody the other day.
I did see that.
That was pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
was that South Carolina or something?
I think it was. Wasn't it one of the Carolinas? Let's see.
I believe so.
Yeah, I want to... I mean, that's a hell of a way to go. I don't know if South Carolina, double murder. So, yeah, I mean, he had to go, but it's like, man, I don't know. If y'all had to pick, would firing squad be your way? Opposed to electric or lethal injection is probably the easiest, honestly.
Yeah. I'd be scared they're going to, like, miss. Kind of miss.
I'd miss on purpose. I'd shoot your dumb ass right in the shoulder.
Yeah, right. Right.
Boom. Oops.
They'd like take the top of my skull off or something, you know.
Well,
I know Louisiana. Aren't they going to? Is it nitrogen?
Is that what they're doing?
Execution?
Can it freeze you?
No, I think it's through inhaling, but I think it's nitrogen execution. I don't know.
Yeah, they're doing everything, I guess, just to, I don't know. Yeah. Everything's, you know, I don't want to say remorseful, but what's the word I'm looking for? Where they're being
nitrogen dioxide.
They're being nice
or something.
They're being kind about it,
humane.
You know, when they're humane. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. Damn, I had a brain fart. Yeah, they're trying to be humane because of these activist groups that give more rights to the criminals than they do the victims, you know. And it's like, no, if you've sat there and you know strangled some woman to death, well, why should you get the pleasure of being put to sleep, as they call it, where they literally put you to sleep and then your heart stops? Like, no, fuck that. You should be strangled.
I think the parents of that woman should have the option to be on the firing squad.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Would you do it? Not saying that somebody in your family was a victim, but as a law enforcement officer at the prison, because you got to sign up for that. Like, people have to be volunteering to do that. And a lot of times, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to just have like 3 or 4 guns and only one of them had a bullet in it. The rest had blanks, so you didn't know who did it. I could sleep with that. Some people, they say they do it, so the cop just don't know. You know, they can always say, well.
We don't even need the other 3 officers. Just let's get it. Fuck them.
Yeah, y'all can stay home. Give me the rifle with the bullet. I got this.
Yeah, he did what? Oh, okay.
We don't need the other 3 officers. Yeah, I could too, man. Knowing somebody did some kind of heinous shit like that, man, I'm like, hey, I'll deal with it. You know, I'll sleep just fine tonight.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, I mean, you fuck around and do it to some innocent person, that would be different. But yeah, if they've been proven and it's like without a shadow of a doubt, you know, this monster did something like that.
Yeah, like if they called you tomorrow to, you know, for the, I guess bringing him back up, the Boston bomber dude, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It's like he 100% did it. There is no, you know, doubts. There's nothing. Like, he did it. So.
Like they don't even need the other 3.
Save the overtime, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Some hours here.
Damn. So let's see. 4 Tesla Cybertrucks torched. Man, I'd be pissed off, dude. Which I guess.
I didn't know that was a thing, dude. Like, I didn't know it was a trend. I thought it was just like in Mardi Gras.
Oh, torching Cybertrucks?
Yeah, dude. I had no clue. I thought, because I saw the video of the one that was in the parade, and he had to leave the parade because they were like fucking his truck up.
That's crazy, too. Hey, man, but they're bulletproof, so I don't know how bad you can actually fuck up a Cybertruck without burning it down, you know?
Yeah.
That's what they say.
But it's just fucked up because these people that bought these vehicles, they have nothing to do with Elon Musk. I mean, I don't understand people. And then what are they doing to these people that are doing it?
Right.
Right.
I know Trump was talking about the ones that were not so much fucking with the Cybertrucks, but the ones that were fucking with Tesla's facilities, that he was talking about calling it a domestic terrorism. Which brings a whole, you know, shitload of other charges and just vandalism. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's a shame you got to go to that. I don't know what they thinking they're accomplishing. Like, what do they think Elon's just going to stop if they keep breaking windows at his place or something? I don't get it, you know?
Yeah, I don't understand it either. Because, like, I mean, imagine the CEO of Ford comes out and does some shit. Like, even, like, that would justify everybody fucking canceling Ford, you know? What are they going to try to bully everybody into selling every Ford that's been made and sold so far, you know?
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know. I mean, unless they're trying to just get people scared to buy kind of slow down the sales of Tesla. Just, I don't know. It's like they're always just trying to cause some kind of disturbance, but there's no real end game to it. It's just to cause chaos.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. And like I said, half of these people that start doing this shit, they're being funded by somebody. Right. You know, because they'll have these mass protests and, you know, these people that are out with these signs and, you know, everybody wearing these same shirts or whatever they're doing. All this shit costs money, you know, and they sure as fuck ain't working because they're out during the day destroying shit. So but like I said, it's hard to figure out what their end game is when it comes to doing this shit besides just causing chaos.
It's probably all it is.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. They're tearing up BLM Boulevard. Is that right?
I did see a little video about that looked like they were destroying it, you know, in front of the White House.
They were tearing it up. And
I'm
surprised there wasn't any big craziness over that out there.
Well, no, I think Brad and I were talking about it earlier. It's just that they've lost so much credibility when they found out them women were basically spending millions of dollars on homes. It's like even the black people were like, "What the fuck?" Like, damn, you know, we're sitting there.
The money's going back to the cause, and
like we're fighting for y'all. We're donating money, whatever you're doing, and you know you're out there buying fucking $3 and $4 $1 million homes. So I think that kind of lost all credibility where nobody gives a shit anymore. You know, they're tearing up the BLM shit in the street, and it's like, okay, big deal. You know, everybody found out that was just a big money laundering scheme too. You know, I mean, anytime well, that's true. What isn't? You know, and that's the problem with any of these foundations that get started.
That's why I don't donate to nothing.
Well, no, because they all sound great on the surface, you know, because, I mean, that, to me, the BLM thing was one of the best names you could have ever came up with to hustle for money. Black Lives Matter. Because who's going to argue with that?
Right.
You know? I mean, who the hell wants to say, no, they don't? And it's like nobody's going to say that. So, therefore, the government's behind you. You know, all these major corporations are behind you. Everybody's donating to you because they're like, well, yeah, Black Lives Matter. Of course they do. We can all agree upon that. So here you go. Here's $1 million, you know, and it was so slick. And whether or not it was started off to be slick, I don't know. But it became that way where somebody was like, you know what? We can take full advantage of this. I mean, who's going to argue with us? Black Lives Matter. Right. The next thing you know, we got mansions.
Yeah.
You know? So,
it probably started off with good intentions, and then it's like money starts rolling, and it's like just like the American government was started with great intentions, and look at us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm sorry. I was going to say I think a lot of those things do start with good intentions, but the problem is anytime money starts to be involved, there's going to be corruption 100% of the time.
Yeah.
It's going to be some level of corruption that gets thrown into there. It's just it's inevitable. It's humans. It's what we do as the human race, you know.
Yep.
Do you believe like the Clinton Global Initiative was started with good intentions?
No, not at all.
Okay. Absolutely.
Not at all. No.
Yeah.
No, something like that. No, that was just a way. You know, how can we launder money?
Right.
I mean, and sometimes that's why some of these organizations get started, because it's like, okay, we got all this money we can start having, coming in from different places, but we have to say it came from somewhere.
Right.
So, yeah, shit like that, yeah. But when you get to like, I don't know, maybe even like Jesse Jackson and the Reverend Al Sharpton, they may have started with great intentions, just wanting to help their people. But I think it became so profitable that it became a job after, it became their career to just race hustle. Like, they'll go and they'll get paid to basically go to a business and teach people how to not be racist. Because every company wants that, big companies. It's like, well, look, we'll just hire Al Sharpton or whoever to come up here.
Anti-racist.
Yeah, to come up here and make sure that our companies, abide by all the rules when it comes to that. And, we'll have to give him $150,000 to do it, but we got his seal of approval. You know? And I mean, fuck, I'd do it too. It's like, so it just, like I said, money gets involved and there comes the corruption and then it becomes a full-time career for some people. And then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's exactly what's going on with the government and all this Doge shit,
Yeah. Did, you think the 25 cents a day went to feed those kids that were on the TVs?
About 3 cents of it, maybe.
Oh, with Sally Struthers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just eating a ham sandwich. Help these kids out.
It used to be the kids. Now it's all about the puppies.
Oh my God. Yeah. The ASPCA.
Yeah.
Help the puppies. Yeah. When I was young, man, it was all over TV. It was them little African kids with the flies and shit all over their face,
Yeah.
And it was sad to see, but I'm with you. It was probably 30% of that was charity, and the 70% was going into the pockets of the people that were running this organization. And I don't know that for a fact. I'm just saying I know there was profit there to be made. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
it wasn't all just to buy bags of rice and get running water in these villages. And I'm sure there were a lot of people there that had great intentions. That's all they were there for. But like we just said, when money's involved, there's some vultures coming.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Every time.
Yep. Anyway.
Oh.
Sally Struthers. Sally Struthers. I haven't heard that name. Justin's like, who in the hell is Sally Struthers?
Look at her All in the Family, baby.
Is that the blonde chick that's on the meme?
Well, I don't know. She was blonde. I don't know about the meme, but yeah, she was the one that was just on all those commercials.
Yeah.
The little African kid looking up at the white blonde chick.
So that's her? No. I know which one you're talking about. That's where the kid's looking at her like with that look on her face like, bitch, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
No. That's a different, that's more of a, I don't know, your time. This was back when me and Brad were younger.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she was an actress that was, pretty popular when all that shit started with, Save Africa, because that's about, for some reason, everything was about Africa when I was coming up, like everything on MTV, every fundraiser with, and not saying that people didn't need it, but I'm saying that was what it was. Everything was focused on, the hunger crisis and, running water and all that shit that was going on over there.
Live Aid. Wasn't Live Aid?
Yes, Live Aid. Yeah. Yeah, it was all about that. And then they had the big, they had the AIDS shit going on over there. They got a lot of shit. Shit goes on and over there in certain parts of Africa, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Crazy, but.
Well, they must be doing better now because I don't hear much about
they
them,
moved on to other things like, the Rainbow Coalition.
The Rainbow Push Coalition.
Yeah, they got to save
that's
those.
About done, though. Huh? I mean, I guess the organization's still going on, but I think the Rev, Jesse Jackson, I think he's pretty much washed up, huh, dude?
Well, that's the one I was talking about earlier, where they would pay like that coalition to go and de-racist these companies or whatever, and then they would get paid to give their stamp of approval. But when I was saying Rainbow Coalition just now, I meant the alphabet crowd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where their attention's at nowadays. We got to save those people because they're oppressed,
Yeah, they're oppressed. Yeah.
People don't know what oppression is, man. And I'm not just talking about them. I'm just talking about people that scream that in this country nowadays. They don't know what oppression is. And I don't know what it is because I've never been through it. But I know watching it in the old videos and just reading about how people of color were treated in this country back in the day. Nothing that I see going on right now resembles that. You know what I mean? And that was oppression. These people couldn't even gather out in the streets to let their voice be heard because they were getting sprayed by fucking water hoses and attacked by cop dogs and shit. And now look, they can run rampant and destroy these fucking cities, screaming about how they're oppressed.
Yeah.
Let them do that shit in the 50s.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. That was oppression. They had no rights. They wasn't going to stand out in the street and fucking, and I don't even want to say riot because they weren't trying to riot back then. They were just trying to fight for, their rights and not to party, but just to fight for their rights to live. So that's why I hate when I start hearing these people that fall for this nonsense. It's these white woke liberals that want to sit there and push it more than anybody about how oppressed somebody is in this country.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they say they're oppressed, but they're fighting for the quote unquote oppressed. It's like who are we talking about here?
Right.
Like, who doesn't have rights?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like most of the time, like, I see videos of black people like, I can speak for myself.
I love
Shut the
those.
fuck up.
I love those.
I'm like, yeah.
That's kind of what Charleston White is on, ain't it? Ain't he on that kind of level? You know, but basically, you know, like, because I know I heard him on a video the other day bitching that, you know, that black people haven't done shit to help themselves in the last couple of decades. And this ain't my words, this is his. And I'm not even saying I agree with him, but I'm just saying as a black man, he was up there screaming about that, saying that, you know, they're doing nothing but glorifying, you know, as far as the music, you know, with the violence and everything.
That's what he's big on,
they're doing nothing to help yourself right now because people look up to people like Lil Baby and Kodak Black and all these other people that are out there just pumping nonsense into these kids' ears, you know. And it's not just black people, but it's just, you know, it's the type of celebrity that children look up to, you know, and for that culture, it seems to be the biggest part of it, you know, is the music. And most of the time they're not saying anything positive in the songs that really catch wind. Now, I'm sure there's some positive songs out there, but that's not the ones that the kids are running around bumping, because it wasn't the shit I was listening to at that age either. I didn't want to hear that shit. I wanted to hear some violence.
No.
You know, man, when NWA came out, it was like, fuck yeah. You know, fuck the police. You damn right. You know, like I ever had a problem with
and all that shit.
All of that shit.
Absolutely.
That's what I mean. So I get it, but I also get what that Charleston, you know, White is saying too. That you know, we got to do better, man. You know, y'all want to do better. You got to stop pushing that kind of nonsense. You know, to your people. I mean, it's shit gets contagious. You know, and it's a shame. They need. You know, we all need better people to look up to as children. You know, but then. It gets harder for them because they get caught in a system that you know wasn't really made for them. You know, as you know, no matter how much, you know, how right you think that statement is, I do believe that, you know, when they started, this system wasn't set up for people of color, so they got a little harder time, you know, coming up. But the opportunities are there now. It's just about changing that mindset of what are we going to push to our youth, you know. And you just can't keep pushing that nonsense of bitches and violence. And I mean, you can't. I mean, you can, but hoes and tricks. That's it. That's what I used to listen to. Know? See, and that's the type of shit I used to listen to, man. All that death row, you know, records and all that shit. But the difference was I didn't go home to that mentality.
No.
You know, I can live this alter ego out on the streets hanging out with my friends and we're all listening to this gangsta music and all, but that wasn't our life, you know.
Right.
Well, these kids, man, some of them are going. That is their life, you know, and it's sad that something has to change. But I mean, how do you change that? You know, how do you change that? And when the environment as a whole is like that, where these kids are growing up. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody has a simple answer for that. It's just
I've heard it asked a lot, and nobody has an answer.
There isn't.
It's hard, you know. It's hard.
There isn't. I think these kids just need more things to do, you know. You know, maybe I think I heard somebody talking about it today. Just rec centers, you know, big places for them to be instead of the streets. Now that's not going to save everyone. I mean, there's always going to be people of every walk of life that just decide they want to do dumb shit, no matter what they have provided for them. But it's a start.
The problem is it doesn't get respected. Like just from seeing the rec centers and stuff in New Orleans, it doesn't get respected, and it gets torn down.
That's true.
It's just destroyed, you know. So it's like, how do you justify as a city spending millions and millions and millions of dollars on these places, and then they're just destroyed?
That's a good point, and that starts at home. You know, where you need to be brought up respecting things. But it's funny you say that, because the first time I got in trouble with the law when I was younger, I had community service, and I did it at one of these rec centers. It was the Boys and Girls Club, and that's basically what it was a place for these teenagers and all to go. And I mean, it was a shithole, you know, because a lot of these kids, they don't have no home training. It's not their fault, but they don't have no respect for anybody else's property. Right. You know, they're in there because I used to have to clean the fucking place after it was my punishment. I mean, they're pissing all over the floors in there and throwing trash anywhere they feel like throwing it and breaking shit. And they don't, it's not like they're doing it to vandalize it. They just don't, you know what I mean? They weren't taught
They
any
just
better.
Don't know.
Right. Some of these kids, I'm not going to sit there and paint them all with a broad brush, but a lot of those kids, they just didn't have the home training. So all of that shit starts at home, man. But how do you change an adult's mentality? You
Right.
know what I mean? It's just, it's a never-ending cycle.
It's a generational thing, man.
It is, and it's terrible, man, because it's like, man, the city of New Orleans, to watch it go down to what it, has. I mean, it's this historical place that's got a lot of, beautiful landscape and the old buildings when you go in the French Quarter and everything. But if you're not from there, most people don't want to go there anymore.
Right.
As far as us that have lived there. Now, people from out of town want to go because they don't know anything about it. But like us, we're not trying to go there unless we absolutely have to.
No, and it does suck because, like, me and Brittany, we went out there over the weekend to go eat at a restaurant, and it's like, it sucks that it's just like, it's not worth going over there, but there's so much nice shit to see as far as or really to do, like, with just so many restaurants and
well, there is. I mean, look at like the Riverwalk.
Yeah,
I mean, it's they got some beautiful shit out there, but
the history. Just the history of the city, and just the whole, like you said, just the historic places, and I mean, God, they got so much to do, but I don't venture over there. I go to work there sometimes, but
right, and it's beautiful to us. But see, they got people that live in that city that they don't enjoy an ounce of it. Like these kids coming up in the projects and all over there, they don't go to Riverwalk. Their parents aren't bringing them over there to go walk and check out the beautiful settings. That's what I mean. It's just it's a change that needs to happen, but the whole culture would have to change. And I don't know how you do that. You don't do it with just a different mayor. I mean, it's going to take more than that. It's a long process that's hard for somebody to stick with long enough to make that change. Well, and I don't have the answer. I can sit here and complain about it all day and feel bad for the kids being brought up in that, but I don't know what to do to change it besides some hardcore law and order, something else for these kids to do. Right. And instead of running the streets, because they've got 12-year-olds that are out there, running the streets in the middle of the night with guns.
Oh, yeah.
We see it all the time in that city. And 12's probably old.
Yeah.
Their expectancy is, I mean, a lot of them don't think they're going to make it to see 18, and they'll tell you that. They got 28-year-old people that think it's retirement age. Like, damn, I done made it, I made it to 28, and that's a shame. I didn't even have my shit together until I was 28, And these people are like, damn, I thought I'd be dead by now. I mean, that's crazy, man, to think that that's how some people come up. I mean, and
I think you hit the nail on the head, man. It's not that it's, the whole inner city government or the city government. I think it helps with that if you have the right politicians running it. But, dude, I think it all reverts back to that it starts in the home. Yeah,
big time.
It's just, mother, father. I mean, a lot of these kids you read about, they're being raised by, their auntie or their grandmother or whatever it might be, And
it's
and they say how you correct it, and it's generational, man.
Yeah, and a lot of it, the big problem is no father around. Makes a difference, man. It makes a big difference when there's no male role model for these young men to look up to besides people saying bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, like I said, back in the day when I was listening to that, that wasn't my life. But when Snoop Dogg or Ice Cube or somebody like that is my role model, and I really don't have nothing else to go home to, well, there you go. Now I'm a product of that environment. And it just seems like that cycle just continues to go and go and go and go. And then, I mean, you got kids having kids. Let's be honest, 12, 13 years old, they're having babies. You know what I mean? Yep. Well, they don't know how to raise no damn kid.
No.
I mean, it's I don't know, man. That's what I mean. I don't think there's one quick fix to it.
Nope.
It's something that would take decades to fix, I think, because it took that long to ruin it over there, but anyway, so we we don't help anything. We just address problems and and have no solutions.
Offer no solutions.
Did you see
that crazy?
You seen the Breakfast Club is under fire right now?
What'd he do?
Whatever chick is on there now, one of the hosts. That it's a little black kid, and he had cancer, like 7 brain surgeries.
Yeah, the one that was at the Trump
DJ
thing. Yeah,
DJ. Yeah. So they were on the radio and they were talking about him, and they were questioning if he was really black, and she was talking about how his hair wasn't nappy, it was patchy, and
oh, Jesus. What?
So everybody's like,
patchy
fuck these motherfuckers,
13 surgeries on his brain or
that's
something.
That's what I seen. Yeah, well, I think she was the one that was even questioning whether or not he had cancer. I'm like, how fucking sick?
Yeah.
Do you have to be to you're gonna go to bat for your team so bad that you're gonna say some shit like that about a child, and then it's like, what does that say that they really think that the Republican side is that bad that they're gonna bring some kid up there and say he's got cancer when he doesn't?
Right,
That's
like they shaved his head right before he walked in, and
like, who are these people? Like, it's okay sometimes to either ignore something or just say, hey, the other side was cool for doing that. That was a good move, but or just shut the fuck up. She deserves all the heat she has coming to her. I didn't read into it as much as you did, apparently, but I did see the headline come across, and I remember them saying that she was questioning whether or not this kid had cancer.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, man, y'all can't find nothing else to talk about on that show? Then start talking about this kid who may not even be around in 6 months.
Yeah, talking shit about him.
And wasn't that the one that they wouldn't even stand up for and clap or anything?
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch that when Trump. What was that? What was that night that Trump was talking?
That was the joint speech to Congress.
Was that last Tuesday when we were on here?
Yeah.
He was addressing the Congress or something.
Yes.
Yeah, and I heard that they were showing their ass the whole fucking night, just being Democrats.
Yep.
Like I said, when you can't even applaud for a child like that, I mean, you can't put your politics aside for a second.
Right,
Are you afraid that the news might run with the clip of y'all clapping for a kid with brain cancer? I mean, these people are fucking sick, man.
They are.
I don't understand how you get so wrapped up in your political beliefs that you start throwing children like that into your bullshit.
Right.
I mean, that's blows my mind, man. That's how far we've come, and it just shows you how they're all just soulless, heartless, fucking, just evil people up there in politics, man. Because there was no reason they couldn't have all come together for that one moment, at least.
Yeah.
And then continue on with your bullshit. We hate Trump. He's a fucking liar. He's a Nazi, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, once the adults get back on stage.
Yes, it's a kid. I mean, I don't know.
Well, who was the politician, the Democrat politician that went on, I don't know if it was MSNBC or CNN, and basically they were questioned about the DJ kid, and basically she was saying, well, look, I'm sympathetic to his cancer. I understand he wants to be a policeman, but I hope he never has to experience what the police had to experience with the J6ers. And I forget her name, I forget the liberal's name that said that. And I hope he, if he ever goes through something like that and commits suicide and yada, yada, yada.
So that's where she took it.
That's where she took it.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like
I was trying to find it, but I can't think of her name. I don't know if it was Jill something or whatever.
Yeah, that's that backhanded compliment. It's like, exactly. It's a poor little kid, blah blah blah. But and it's like, come on, lady, like, man, you talk about anything for a fucking sound bite, man. These people have lost their fucking minds.
They have lost their mind, man. They're
absolutely. Trump has made them lose their fucking minds. Because I don't believe they would have done that any other president that little boy was up there with. I don't think Trump has made them all just go batshit crazy. It's amazing to watch. It shows
TDS, dude.
Yeah, and it's real. It is real.
Yeah.
TDS is real, and it rears its ugly face every day when you listen to these politicians. It's amazing. Yes. But it lets you know how afraid they are of him, because I don't believe they really hate him. I don't believe they give a fuck enough about any of them to hate each other.
Right.
It's all about what's beneficial to them and what's not. And this isn't about, Trump's not, it's just, he might make some policies we don't like. It's about, shit, he may find out all the corruption we've been doing.
Absolutely.
And we've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. That's exactly why they took John F. Kennedy out.
Yep.
That's exactly why. And that's exactly why they tried to take Trump out. He scares the fuck out of them. Because like I said, they 100%. Don't give a fuck about Trump as a person. They don't care. No. It's just he is no good for their cause.
No. And you can see, I mean, like we were talking earlier, Shane, about, people are out there bitching. I've got a couple of friends out there bitching about, all these tariffs that are going on. And, and it's, God, I'm like, God, y'all are losing faith already from what y'all are telling me with this, man. It's been 7 weeks, dude. Give it some time, man. And I've heard the pros and the cons with the tariffs. But I don't see a problem in it. I really don't. Mostly if they're reciprocal tariffs, that's what these countries are charging us to bring our products into their country. Why not charge them a tariff to bring their products in?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just a leverage game. That's all it is.
Yeah, and I'm curious, what has these tariffs affected so far? I'm not
egg prices.
Well, has he even are there any tariffs even been thrown out at people yet, or is it all threats? You know what I mean?
Well, I think he pulled back on this latest one where he was going to put a 50% tariff on steel and aluminum coming in from, was it Canada, lumber? I don't know if he pulled that one back.
Australia now.
Australia.
I think the steel and metal from Australia.
And look, as they say, and I think we have talked about it off air. Do I think there's pain coming? Yeah, absolutely. I think there's going to be a little bit of pain to come, and you can see that, and you can see what's going on in the market corrections. And I've been saying it for 3 years now that the market is bloated. I mean, and it's the same thing with real estate. Your markets are bloated. There has to be a correction. I mean, we have pumped and spent so much money.
Well, and then it's like you were saying earlier about, with the tariffs, as far as if they're imposed on us, why shouldn't we be able to impose it? There's a list of tariffs Canada imposes on U.S. Here's the list. This is what we get from Canada.
Right.
Milk, 270%.
Yes.
Cheese, 245. Yes. Butter, 298. Poultry, 238. It goes down the list. Lumber, 20%. Shoes, 30%. So, I mean, they're all smoking us with them.
You're right.
Right.
And they all go up in arms when we start talking about it. It's
and I was wondering too, because I hear both sides, I guess, of the negatives on the tariffs. They're like, oh, it's gonna fuck us if we impose tariffs on incoming goods from other countries because basically we pay the extra for the tariffs, and then at the same time it's like, well, we're going to be fucked if we piss off Canada and they tariff our energy because our energy prices are going to go up. And it's like, well, where's the thinking with that? That if a country's imposing tariffs on us, our prices go up. And if we impose tariffs on other countries, our prices go up. One of them has to be wrong, Yeah.
And I mean, I've always looked at it I think we buy enough from these countries that if they want to continue selling their goods here at the bulk that they're doing, they're just going to have to lower their prices. That way it kind of combats this tariff that Trump's talking about throwing on them. Now, is everybody going to do that? No. So there's going to be a few things that, we got to deal with being a little higher for the betterment of the country, because I do think it's temporary. I just think it's a game, like a chess match that's going on right now. And, some people may have to take a hit for a little bit, but I just think it's for, in the long run, I think it's going to pay off, man. And I think it's a bargaining chip. I think Trump knows exactly what he's doing because he's a businessman. And I think these other countries like to talk a lot of shit, like they're not worried about it, or, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And you ain't doing shit because they need us. Yes. That's just all it boils down to.
I think that's the whole problem too, man. If you look at it, this is nothing new. I mean, if you look at it over the last 30 or 40 years, we have just sold our country out to China, to all these other countries, if it's Europe, if it's Canada, if it's Mexico. And all of our major manufacturing, we have no manufacturing hardly in this country anymore. So, right. and like you just hit on a minute ago, it's all about, with tariffs, bringing those industries back to America to produce. So what does that do when you bring industries back to America? What's it going to do? It's going to create jobs. It's going to make American products. Everything you buy, probably 99% of it is from where? China, Indonesia.
Yeah.
Indonesia, Vietnam, wherever it might be, Mexico. And I think, like I said, it's going to take time. This is not going to be fixed overnight. It's a 30-year problem we've been having. All these past politicians have sold us out that we don't need that. We can depend on other countries. All of this global initiative bullshit that we have been dealing with. And Trump just wants that to stop. He wants everything America, and I can't really blame him. And this whole bullshit with eggs, I don't need eggs, dude, so I don't really give a fuck about eggs, dude.
Well, and like we said, I don't think the egg, it has anything to do with Trump. I mean, from what I understand, there was 150 some odd million chickens that were killed by the Biden administration over this bird flu. So, I know they like to throw that at Trump, but I honestly don't think that has anything to do with that. But now, Brad, when they do bring back American manufacturing,
okay,
of course, Americans aren't going to work for the type of money that they do in other countries. I mean, we're just not going to do it. So do you think that's going to drive up American made goods to where the average person is going to be like, oh fuck, man, goddamn, an alternator's $700 now when it used to be $150? I mean, do you think that's going to be an issue?
I think that could be an issue. I do believe one thing we have to do is get regulation out of the way. And you can see it now with regulations with your EPA. And I know the business that I'm in, it changes because of the GWP, which is global warming potential. And we deal with that in my industry that I'm in constantly. And it's doing is just driving costs. And most of the stuff that's manufactured that I deal with, it's coming from Mexico or Canada or China or wherever, and we still deal with it because of the regulations. I do believe if they could get rid of a lot of the regulations, which I can hit on Trump, for every new regulation that is enacted, he wants 10 to go away. I think it's a great thing. I do.
Right.
I think it's a great thing.
Well, I guess what I was, I don't want to say concerned about because that's the wrong word, but what I was interested, was just wondering, is it gonna drive up the cost of anything being produced in the country? I mean, is that going to be a negative aspect of it, that now shit's going to be more expensive? Because like I said, the American workforce isn't working for $1 an hour.
No, they're not. Yes. Do I see it driving up cost? Probably so, man.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't know. I mean, let's ask the question on that. Is it a bad thing? I mean, is it a bad thing that we making stuff that is quality made in America? Because I think we make the best stuff around. I really do.
Sure.
Or if it's from Germany or some other country. But everybody knows this crap we buying from China, it's disposable,
Right.
So if you say we turn around, I want to buy a washing machine that's American made in America. Well, I would have the expectation that I hope it lasts me 15 years or 10 years,
Yeah.
So I think, but will it drive the cost?
Yeah,
I guess. But it all comes down to materials. I mean, raw materials. If we can get raw materials and make raw materials at a cheaper price, but
because isn't that what kind of keeps the cost so cheap of that crap coming from overseas? It's on top of just a junk material, but it's also the lack of labor cost.
Yeah.
Yes.
And look, I'm not pushing for not manufacturing in America. I'm just wondering, is that going to hit the average middle class to lower middle class citizen harder than what Trump is alluding to? Like, is that going to be a financial problem for people?
Well,
I think
maybe
it will.
in the short run, because in my mind, like, say you take stuff like, just any kind of household goods, like your microwave, right? Would you rather buy one microwave every 2 years for $150 or one every 10, 12 years for $300?
Yeah, but the average American that's living paycheck to paycheck don't give a fuck about that 10 years. They're looking at what they're spending right this second, and it's like, God damn, I don't have $300 to go buy a microwave. Even if it's going to last me a lifetime, I don't have it. I have an extra $150 to spend, but I don't have $300, so now I don't have a microwave. Yeah. And I've been there. That's my point. So I'm judging it from a poor person's perspective, because I've been there where I've been paycheck to paycheck, nothing in the bank, nothing saved. My microwave goes out. I don't have $300 fucking dollars. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm not justifying us buying everything from overseas. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, saying, is it going to have a negative effect more than it does a positive effect when it comes to the average everyday American, where I'm sure if you looked it up, a huge percentage of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
Hopefully it'll fix that by bringing more jobs to America.
And that's what I was going to get at, that I guess, but is everybody's pay going to go up to afford these better made?
Well, mean, even if like, say, I would think people are going to move up more than like people that are, down to their last dollar right now struggling aren't going to, probably go get this $30 an hour new manufacturing job that's being created. But you'll have people moving, up, making more money. And
right.
I guess it's just going to depend on who's still lazy, honestly.
And it's going to come down to skills, man. I mean, because you can go to any of these factories I've been to, and on an assembly line, which requires very little skills. I mean, it's different skill levels.
I've seen it
factory.
in 8 Mile.
You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's nothing different than working at fast food. Some people want to make a career of that. Hey, that's fine if that's what you want to do, but it only pays so much,
And don't bitch about not having
that I can support a family on that. Some people can, but
because here's how I'm seeing it. They're already. I mean, you bitching about $8 a dozen eggs. Well, wait till everything's manufactured in America, and then see what you're bitching about. And look, I hope for the money it's high quality like it used to be back in the day. But that's another thing I'm afraid of, is that these American companies are going to cheap out on materials because everything's about the bottom dollar, especially when you have a public company where stockholders, investments are involved, because now it's all about making as much profit as you can. And one of the best ways to do it, if you're not legally allowed to cut labor cost, is by cutting cost of materials and putting junk in whatever it is you're making. And that's what I'm concerned with. See, back in the day when we had American-made appliances and cars and tools, them motherfuckers were made. Like, they lasted. Yes. They got shit to this day that outlasts.
It's still out there.
Exactly. Yeah. But are you going to get that same type of quality now with the way that the greed has just taken over the corporate, world? I just don't see the cost. The quality matching the cost is what I'm concerned with.
I think when you talk about too in the time that we live in now, Shane, I think it's all changing, brother. I do believe that because of automation, AI, computers. I don't know. What do we do with all the people that have that are unskilled? I mean, do we just pay them a living wage, which is some type of form of welfare, or because you can see it now that. Most of these factories, I mean, my God, it's all computer driven. You need very few people. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting going into the future where we go with this, and I don't know. But I'm all for the tariffs, reciprocal, and I want to bring it back to America. I think the biggest thing and the best thing that he's doing is exposing the Democrats. And Republicans alike, we say Democrats first off because we're conservative people, but they're both of them. Both parties are all in this with this spending. If it's the USAID or these slush funds, or it just to expose it, to get it out there, and it shows like you and I hit on off the air. If they're able to give that amount of money away,
right,
each and every month, year, whatever it is, that just shows you that they are way overtaxing the American people.
Yeah, when they can piss away that kind of money, or just hide that kind of money. Yeah,
absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
All the money that's unaccounted for. Yeah, they've got way too much. Too much access.
Way too much money. And when you turn around and you're paying 30-40% of what you make, you're working 5 months out the year to pay your taxes, and it's like, dude, it's just. And then it's just bullshit.
Well, I know, speaking of money, they were talking about the Department of Agriculture. They canceled $600,000 grant that was going for the study of menstrual cycles in trans men. But that's where our money was going.
What does that have to do with growing trees?
Right? Yeah.
What does that have to do with growing? Oh, the Department of Agriculture?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just another excuse to funnel it somewhere. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But it's like $600K to study the menstrual cycle in trans men, and this was justified by somebody,
right?
Somebody signed off on this shit. Now, they're granted 60,000 of it probably really went to whatever cause that they were talking about, but still, I'm thinking this is the shit that the left is upset with that Elon's digging into.
Yes. Imagine
feeling that way. Like, oh, no, fuck that. That's just wrong. That $600K needs to go study that. Like, what? I just don't see how we're not all on the same page with this shit, But like I said, I see the arguments over the tariffs because some people are concerned that it's just going to rise the cost of goods so much that it's going to be tough for the average American for a while, And then it may even be longer than a while if we do start producing stuff in this country, which
I guess it's yet to be seen,
Yeah,
and I don't think it's corrected overnight for sure.
No. Like I said, I know one thing, though. If they're going to make us pay more for shit, it better be quality stuff like it used to be.
Well, do y'all think taking away child labor laws would make a stronger next generation?
Hey, guess who just hit me back? Kim Webster. He said y'all on right now?
You damn right we are.
I told him come help us save the world. So I'd love to get his take on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're saying reduce the age for child labor laws?
We'll just take them away. We'll make a healthier, stronger next generation.
Got an 87-year-old grandson, dude. Look, y'all coming with me, brother. Don't worry.
Well, we just reduce that and labor cost and everything, and we'll be.
Nobody was bitching about using the wrong bathrooms when we didn't have child labor laws. Is all I'm saying.
Sweatshops, bro. Sweatshops. They got it done. Nobody was what? What'd you say?
Nobody was bitching about using the wrong bathroom when we didn't have child labor laws.
Yeah. Nobody was bitching about that. Just the last 2 or 3 years, really. But.
So, just saying. I see the correlation.
No, I don't think that's the answer, man. I don't.
Trump needs to fucking get on the ATF because I think it's complete bullshit that I can't own a flashbang.
But
complete bullshit. But that's it. Trump needs to talk to these people.
I was gonna say
get their shit together.
I thought you was gonna say because somebody else has the right to, like
no, because you can't own one unless you're law enforcement, which is stupid.
What's that? That's some things they throw through like the window, and it's
like
literally
the SWAT when they're coming
literally
to get
what
your
it
ass.
says. A flash bang. Yeah.
Bright light, loud noise, but no.
Well, they ought to just get rid of the ATF. I mean,
they absolutely
we got
should.
enough policing, So
yeah, I don't know. Has that even been talked about? Because I know.
No.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because just recently, like within the last couple of days, so they've been trying to get suppressors off of the NFA. That's been a big fight for a while. Well, a judge he basically said that he doesn't think that suppressors should be covered under the NFA, but he's not gonna take away the ATF's rights to regulate them. So the ATF still regulates suppressors, which means that you have to pay a tax stamp if you want one, which is stupid.
It's very stupid.
Motherfuckers.
It really is.
Well, we get like I said, Kenny gets on here. Y'all gonna have to help me keep it going. See how long we can keep him on, but we'll see if he dings in. But yeah, I don't know what. So what, Justin? You're an ATF expert. We're gonna go ahead and call you that. We're gonna label you as that.
I think they're all assholes.
What the fuck do they do besides?
They're okay.
Like, what were they started for? Was it just to monitor the type of firearms that the fucking... Well, no, because it's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. I forget. Right. It's not just firearms.
I think it was, like, originally put together to try to help slow down the mob.
Yeah.
With, prohibition, and they were trafficking alcohol and guns, and, shit was just going down. So they were like, all right, we need a... agency.
So it was another one of those things that may have had good intentions.
Yes.
I got you.
And now if you buy too many oil filters, they'll kick your door in, they'll shoot your dog, and then they leave.
So it's really just the firearm part of it that's a fucking racket then, I would assume. I mean, which I don't know. I guess it all is. I mean, even like you can't even like... Well, but even the alcohol part of it, like you can't just make your own alcohol in your house. Like, why not? Why not?
Right.
I know, it's so stupid. You can't even make race fuel because it's made the same way as, alcohol, as moonshine. So you could have a still for your race car and you're going to jail.
Well, let me ask you this. What are the laws on that? Because I know some people that have, like you can order a moonshine still or something on Amazon. I
don't know the exact laws on it.
That's what I'm wondering.
It's
like
probably heavily frowned upon.
I guess maybe a certain amount, like a size, because there's got to be something to it. Because I know somebody who just got it. They were drunk one night, and the guys were laughing and joking about it, and they got on Amazon and ordered one. Now they make moonshine. So,
because I know you can brew
for your own consumption or something.
You can brew your own beer and shit.
Yeah.
Your wine, you can make wine.
I think maybe it's the moonshine part that they don't love.
Yeah. But that's another, like, they shouldn't be able to, like, fuck you. I mean,
absolutely.
That's exactly.
Just a little more government infringement,
And then the tobacco part of it. Like, we don't grow no tobacco over here. I don't know. I think it's all just a big fucking money grab. Somebody needed a job, and it was like, you know what? Why don't we just start another branch of the government? We'll put you in charge of it.
And I'm just like, I don't
understand. I think like Marlo just hit. I think you can brew it. You just can't distribute it. And I think that's probably
okay.
For your own consumption, you probably can. But
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but
yeah. So you.
But look, you look at our founding fathers, man. They all brewed their own stuff, man.
Yeah.
It was a big thing back then. So.
No, I hear you.
I just don't get what alcohol, tobacco, and firearms and explosives are like. What do they have to do with each other? Why are they regulated by the same agency?
Because it's all about tax.
Yeah, because it's kind of like with the fully automatic shit. Can't you still?
You can.
Yeah.
If it was made before 86, you can still buy it, but you have to pay a tax stamp, and they're like $60,000.
So you even with a stamp, you can't buy it if it's newer.
So you can, if you are an FFL, you can buy a post 86 full auto machine gun.
Right.
But you never own it.
I got you.
As soon as you don't renew your FFL, you have to sell it to a different FFL to hold. And I believe they can't be held at your house. Like post 86 machine guns, even with an FFL, you can't hold it at your. It's got to be held at the place or business that the FFL was issued for.
That's bullshit. Yeah, it's bullshit.
And then even if you have a tax stamp for a pre-86 machine gun or a suppressor, you have to notify the ATF if you're going to cross state lines with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't, man. I don't know. I guess you don't want people running around with grenade launchers, but it just seems like they have too much fucking power. Too much, Justin, and you even question that. If you want a grenade launcher, you should have the right to have a grenade launcher. That's how Justin looks at it. But there are certain people I don't want running around with a grenade launcher, but there's also some people feel like nobody should have a handgun. So I guess, makes my point kind of mute.
And it's like, what is the point of saying that the largest caliber you can own is a 50 caliber? You can't own anything bigger than a 50 cal.
Yeah, right.
You get hit with a fucking 50 cal.
I was going to say, like, the damage starts if you're above 50 cal.
Right, right. You take down a fucking airplane with a 50 cal, but nothing bigger. Nothing bigger. I think unless it's like a muzzle loader, and then I think they're like 68 is the biggest or something like that. But
what is their excuse for that?
They don't have none. It's just, we don't like anything bigger than that.
We don't like it.
Can't have sawed-off shotgun. I think the barrels have to be 16 inches or something.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Same with rifles. They have to be 16 inches if you want an adjustable stock. If you don't mind not having a stock on your rifle, then it can be considered a pistol, and you can put an 8-inch barrel on it.
They just make up dumb shit.
Dumb shit, dude.
Wasn't a bump stock a big thing?
Oh, yeah.
I want to say, didn't Trump ban that? He was the one
He did, yes.
Oh, man, look. That was a crazy one. I know it pissed off a lot of people because Trump was supposed to be all for the Second Amendment. But wasn't that when was that a school shooting?
No, that was the Las Vegas, the hotel shooting.
Yeah. So I guess he felt like his hands were tied. He had to do something, but still.
Yes, we need to talk about that too. I'll pull it up in a second. But yeah, and if you're gonna regulate something and criminalize it through the government, do your thing, change the law is kind of where I'm at. But bump stocks aren't illegal. The ATF just says you can't have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not illegal, but the ATF says you can't have them.
Yeah, it's not on a law book anywhere that you can't have a bump stock. The ATF just decided that it's a machine gun.
So what happens if you get caught with it?
10 years in prison.
Well, it's got to be illegal. Like, will it stand up in court?
That it's a machine gun.
Will it stand up in court?
Yeah.
So
it will. The ATF will win.
Okay. So what you're essentially saying is it's not the bump stock that gets you in trouble. It's that it converts your gun, according to them, to a machine gun.
Yes. It all falls under the same law.
Right. But if they just have a bump stock, like if that's the only thing you have in your gun safe, no gun, is it still illegal to have that?
Yeah.
To be in possession of it? Or does it have to be attached to a gun?
No. So
depends on how much you can pay a lawyer. Say you have an
auto sear, pretty much, because say you have an auto sear for an M16 that was made whenever, right?
Yeah.
If that is the only thing you have in your house, you have a pretty good chance of not going to prison for it. But even if you have an auto sear upstairs in your attic and you have an AR-15 in your basement that auto sear will fit in, then they say that you could have put those pieces together and made a machine gun. So you own a machine gun, you're going to prison. So it's like, but where does that stop? Like, if I've got enough, if I have enough steel and a lathe in my house to make a machine gun, am I going to prison because I could have made a machine gun? Because there's no written law that specifically says at this point it becomes a machine gun.
Yeah, it's a very fine line, and it's almost like I was just joking about, but it just depends on how good of a lawyer you're able to afford and whether or not you can get out of this bullshit. Because if it's not for that, it's just the ATF saying you did something wrong. So you're going to jail. And if you're just an average person who can't afford a hell of a legal team, well, you don't have a leg to stand on.
Exactly. Like there's 2 guys sitting in prison right now for auto key cards, stainless steel, like wallet-sized cards that had a drawing of an auto sear on it.
Damn.
That, I mean, if you had the tooling, you could cut out and put it in your AR-15 and it would work as an auto sear. But the ATF, so during the trial, right, they were like, no, it's not a machine gun. ATF says, yes, it is. Like, being a card, it's a machine gun. You're selling machine guns, right?
Right.
So the ATF had one of their weapons experts take one of these auto key cards, cut it up, do what he was supposed to do to make an AR-15 full auto, and the most he could get it to shoot full auto was 3 rounds at a time, once.
Got you.
And that was it. It's a machine gun, though. These 2 dudes are sitting in prison.
Damn.
Right now. And one of them had no business with it. All he did was promote it on his YouTube channel. It was a paid advertisement from the company, and they got him on conspiracy.
So where's the NRA in all of this? You know what I mean? Like, where are they? They should be, anteing up some
front line,
money.
man.
Yes, they should be here. They should be paying for any kind of attorneys that people like these fellas need.
Well, did they have a membership?
That's probably what it was. They weren't part of the NRA.
Dude.
Did you pay your $15 last month?
If it's not super newsworthy, the NRA ain't fucking with it. They're so political now.
And I was going to say, that's another organization that started off with great intentions, and then it just becomes a huge money grab.
It's a huge money grab, man.
And I fell for it a while back. I donated to them because I believe at some point they do, help fight for the Second Amendment rights, but at the same time, like, how much of it is legit? You know what I mean? Are they just another corrupt organization that's in on this shit with the government, money grabbing, but they're not really doing shit for you. They just act like it, Yeah. No. You can't trust nothing nowadays. You can't trust anybody. You never know what's somebody's real intentions when there's so much money out there to be made. It just becomes a dirty game, But them guys like you talking about sitting in prison over some bullshit like that, if there's ever anybody that needs the NRA's help, it would be them, And apparently they haven't done a fucking thing to help.
And it's just so crazy. Like, I mean, the case has been going on since, I guess, about COVID. COVID time they arrested him. And his name, his channel is CRS Firearms. So he was just a big YouTuber. So he would promote, just firearm shit. And dude that created the auto key card contacted him. Hey, I'll pay you. You can post this ad for me. He was like, cool. Well, like I said, the ATF arrested him and got him on conspiracy.
Yeah.
And he wound up getting convicted on conspiracy for running an ad on something that he called his lawyer.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, before I run this ad, like, is this product legal? Is it good? His lawyer contacted the ATF. They said, yeah, it's not a machine gun. Then they decided it was later down the road, and there he is sitting in prison.
Well, just listen to what the government tells you, and
they told him it was okay.
Oh, well, don't listen to what the government tells you, and
dude, that's the same thing they're doing
the ATF
with
and we wouldn't have this problem.
Like force reset triggers. Force reset triggers were fine. The ATF said they are not a machine gun.
Now, is that
fine?
Is that where it kind of the action of the gun is making it fire.
So they have one like that where the action of the gun will force the trigger to reset, and you just kind of barely hit it, and it'll fire fairly quickly, right?
Right.
And then they have one that you get a shot when you pull and a shot when you let off, right? They said they're fine. They are not machine guns. And then after a year or two, they decided, we don't like these anymore. They're machine guns. And then started going door to door, picking these things up, arresting and raiding manufacturers of them, and sending people to prison for shit that they told people they could make. They gave a patent for these force reset triggers.
So what administration was doing this?
I believe this was mid-Biden.
Yeah. It sounds about right. Yeah.
But how can you get a patent on something
and then it's illegal?
And you go to prison for it. They give you a patent
because the government says so, man. That's crazy right there. When you actually get approved with the patent office, which is the United States government, you know what I mean? And then it turns out to where you got a patent illegal product. That's hilarious. That's fucking amazing. How does that even work? See, and that's what I'm talking about with the right kind of law team. How is that even a case?
Right.
That's crazy. Shout out to everybody out there listening. How y'all doing out there? If you hadn't hit subscribe yet, do it. We on that road to 10K. We trying to get there. But and
that's the problem with the ATF is that there's no oversight. They don't have to go through Congress to decide that a bump stock is a machine gun. If they did, and it was like, hey, look, we don't like these things. Like, we're just warning y'all. Like, we're going to push for these things to be illegal. We got to go see Congress. We got to talk. We got to get passed through. That's fine. But they don't. They release a newsletter and say, these are machine guns.
So they essentially just make their own laws?
Yes.
That's too much power, dude. That's as bad as the CIA. That's
unelected bureaucrats, man.
Yeah, it's unchecked power, man. That's dangerous, dude, because they can decide one day to, say everybody who has a magazine that's over 6 rounds, that's illegal now.
Exactly, and that's the
same thing like
problem.
the EPA, dude. They're the same way. All these unelected bureaucrats, those refrigerators aren't good anymore. So,
that's the
they
EPA.
Just write their own laws, man. Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
It's nuts,
Yeah.
Hopefully, our man will stop most of this.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Vegas shooting for a second. Can you?
Well, we're the only ones in the last few years. That shit just disappeared. But.
Well, I'm gonna post this. I want you to look at it. Pull it up.
Yep.
Boom.
Right there. All right. That map?
Yeah.
Is that what you want me to pull up and share? All right.
Mm-hmm. Somebody put together basically a full map of the Vegas shooting that went down, right?
Right.
So some of those are phone calls that came into 911. Some of them are places where bodies were found, right?
Right.
Now, there are phone calls from 4, 5, 6 blocks down the road to 911 saying that somebody is in their building shooting.
Wow.
Right?
Okay. So
if you hover over any of those dots, it'll tell you what it is.
All right. So you're saying 911 woman calling from porta potty in venue. All right. Hold on a second. So I'm trying to see what you're getting at here.
So there's a lot of reports on the 911 calls from very, very different hotels saying that there's shooters in their building. There's multiple helicopters that were not they didn't have their radar shit on. That people were reporting that there was shots coming out the helicopters and shit. Like there was some crazy shit going on.
So it's basically one of these whether or not there was more than just this nut in the.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, and look, I don't know if that's what the case is, but there had to be some funny shit going on with that because that shit disappeared, man.
Right?
It was just gone. I mean, they all of a sudden they don't know shit about this guy. It happens every fucking time.
Yep.
All of a sudden they could tell you what the fuck I ate for breakfast this morning, but yet when somebody does some shit like this, all of a sudden they have no, we don't know. It's just like the asshole that shot Trump in the fucking ear. You know, all of a sudden they don't have no social media, footprint on this guy.
No
or
manifesto.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
They don't know anything about him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
That's another one of those.
Go up on that map, like go kind of north, up to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. I guess, do you see like Caesar's Palace? What is this here? Paris, Las Vegas, the Bellagio.
Right.
911 call. Man reports 2 shots at the Bellagio. I'm
at the Roman Catholic Church right now. Where are you at? Brad's like, what the fuck?
And I guess what I'm trying to show is how far away like the Bellagio and shit is from the actual shooting.
Okay. Where was the actual shooting on this map?
So where?
Sorry,
you
everybody
were
watching.
Anybody
watching? We're trying to figure this out. Y'all bear with us. So,
what is
this?
That's the parking lot. This is where the venue was. Right, catty corner to that. If you go down and left,
here,
the shooter was in there.
Right here.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so now if you go up like 4 or 5 blocks, people are reporting shots in their hotels.
Oh, okay. Damn, that far away?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I see what you're getting at now. Yeah, yeah. So they were way up in this area reporting. Yeah. Oh, so all these phone calls, like if I go to this one right here, it's saying woman reports hearing shots. Nah, I mean, she's, only 4 blocks away. I guess she could hear something, but man reports hearing shots from several casinos. And look at all these phone calls up in this area, dude.
Exactly.
Way up. God damn, they had that many calls?
Yes.
She this woman was calling to get an update, just like a woman. Where you at? Let's see. Dad saw a man with a rifle.
Now, how did he see a man with a rifle? Way the fuck over there.
Man reports 2 shots at the Bellagio.
And you can scroll out from there and see how far that thing is from the original
from here,
shooting.
All the way down to there, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, that's man, you start going, I mean, you could just scroll this map forever, dude. And it's like, man asked how to pick up daughter who attended concert. Oh, that's a different call. Woman reports someone shooting in Harrah's. Well, how many fucking people?
Boom.
So what? Yeah, but anybody that got shot was in that vicinity of that crowd, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, there's some deaths that are a little far away, but I assume it's people that maybe got in cars and died.
Is that
later.
What this is? Is that what these little orange things?
So the black.
Oh,
the black
okay.
is the
I see
deaths.
it. Yeah. Yeah, see, you figured, though, I mean, if people were shooting like that all over, but look how far away this one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't see no blacks in the other areas, though, where they were. I don't know. No, it's crazy, man. It just adds to it, because nobody really knows what the hell was going on, man.
Nope.
There's something, like I said, there's more to it than what, there's more to it than what we were told for sure.
Yeah, and if you, like, really, if anybody cares and has time, each one of them has links to where it was and videos, and, like, there's so many videos on there.
Yeah. I did see some of the videos pop up. That's pretty cool, that little map. But yeah, it lets you know, man. That's I don't know. Brad, what are you going to do if Angel Reese decides to strike and they don't want to play WNBA basketball until they get paid more?
Dude, I don't know.
Are you going to be
I'm
okay?
Gonna clap.
You're going to be okay? I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you when the season is.
Me neither.
I seen her bitching today about that, or today, I think yesterday or whatever, whenever she was bitching about it. But I'm thinking they still don't understand why they don't get paid what the men get paid.
Right.
And of course it has to do with women don't get paid as much as men. It has nothing to do with that league loses money.
Oh yeah.
Every year.
Yeah. They can't fill a venue, man.
They've never turned a profit. And these women, and some of them are making, $50,000, $60,000 a year. It's like, well, hey, guess what? Now you're middle class. You just happen to play basketball. I mean, get over it. Do what you got to do to get some endorsements, but you're not bringing the money in. And I just don't understand how that's even an argument amongst these players. But they really think they deserve some LeBron James type money.
Well, have you seen the videos of people doing the math and like if they wound up getting paid the same basically share after everything, the women would wind up owing the WNBA money every year?
They got to cut a check.
What's
to
her
the
name?
league.
Didn't she leave? Isn't she going? What's her name? The girl out of college. I can't think of her name off the top of my head.
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, didn't she leave? Isn't she leaving there and going? Is it European League or something? Maybe.
Well, maybe in the off season. I doubt she's leaving for good.
I thought she was leaving for good.
Oh, she may. I don't know. I hadn't heard that. Yeah, I know some of them they play in different leagues. That's why that girl Brittany Griner got in trouble in Russia because they don't make no fucking money here. So she went and played in an overseas league or whatever. You know what I mean? But she was also in the WNBA. But when the season was off, they go in different leagues and play. So I didn't know if maybe that's what this girl was doing, or, Caitlin was doing. But, I mean, and look, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, I know it sucks. You got to go different leagues to make, decent money or whatever. But it's not a hot commodity.
Yeah, right.
Have you ever seen, I mean, without sounding like have you ever seen the women play basketball?
No.
I mean, honestly, it's like a bunch of lesbos running up the court. So it's not even like it's attractive where the men are there like, hell yeah, So you can't attract that, So now, and honestly, it's just not the same as watching these guys as far as the coordination and just the skill of the play. So, I mean, it's just hard, man. It's hard to generate a crowd. Maybe they should have cooking contest or, house cleaning. I don't know, whatever.
The cooking shows do pretty well, actually.
maybe they should have a vacuuming as a sport. I don't know. Do something for these women.
If it shows you how much people don't want to watch women playing sports, like they have a whole lingerie football league that like
nobody watches
nothing. It's just
and at least they had that going for them. That's what I mean. The WNBA. I don't want to see Brittany Griner in lingerie. I'm sorry.
No.
It's just it is what it is. I mean, it's just a bunch of tall lesbian women playing basketball. It's not very interesting.
Mario said we had the option of bringing a Marine back, and they chose her.
Oh, yeah. I did forget about that. That's a good point, Mario. I remember that, man. You talk about just some woke nonsense, man. The government was like, you know what, fuck our fucking our Marine people or whatever, or military people. We're going to bring back this basketball player. I forgot about that hoopla, man. That was a mess. I think that dude's still sitting over there, too. I forget his name now, man. I knew it back. I remember, back in the day, everybody talking about it. I didn't forget his name. But, yeah, I think he's still sitting over there. And they wind up getting this girl out. I mean,
I forget his name too, man. That Marine's sitting over there, but
and I'm not saying she deserved to sit in prison for the rest of her life over some marijuana, but I mean, apparently she had it. She knew the law, brought it over there. But it's like, get both of them out,
right?
We shouldn't have that. Our people still sitting over there.
Yeah, didn't we trade her for?
He was like an assassin
arms
or some
dealer
shit. Arms dealer
or something. Yeah, you think you could have arranged like, look, give me the Marine and I guess the basketball player.
Yes,
Dude,
they could. And if it were Trump, he'd have probably got both of them without anything.
Right.
Probably.
Exactly.
And the same thing with that Otto Warmbier in North Korea. There's no way they would have done that to that man if Trump were in office.
He died, right?
Yeah, he died. They sent his ass back home after he was in a coma. Oh, here, you can have your son back.
They was doing it like Bernie on TV.
Yeah, that's terrible. And I just don't I think with the right administration that would have never happened, man.
Right.
I mean, there's certain people that are in charge that these other countries know they can fuck around with, and Trump isn't the one.
No.
I mean, we've seen it before where he tells people, you do this, this is going to happen. And then they test them, and then boom, there it goes.
Yes.
I mean, it is and that's the only way to operate.
It is.
Merchant of Death.
The Merchant of Death. Yep.
Mario's right. And that's who we traded this basketball player for.
The WNBA player. It wasn't even LeBron. It was just
it could have at least been
player.
Could have been an NBA player at least, God. Like Michael Jordan back in the day, I'd have been like, yeah, look, that's cool. Let's just get him out, but
hey, did y'all know Babe Ruth wasn't black?
You may be the only one in the fucking world who didn't know that. Yeah,
I thought he was special because he was like a black baseball player back in the day, and
he was special because he was a fat dump of shit that ate hot dogs and drank beer during the game, smoking cigars, just fucking
cigars in the dugout.
Launching fucking home runs all game long.
I thought he was black for 29 years, dude.
Wow. No. He's white as they come, man.
Oh yeah.
Found that out the other day.
He's hitting dingers, man, and drunk and just, like I said, just smashing
Having a
hot
good time,
dogs.
No athleticism at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him an athlete, but he knew how to swing a bat for sure.
He's like, what's the golfer's name?
John Daly. Oh, yeah, that's my spirit animal, dude.
I know.
Beast, dude. Yeah, you gotta love him, dude.
That's so awesome. I always thought he was
Mario
black.
thought he was black too.
Mario, go somewhere with that bullshit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mario thought he was black too. No, John Daly is the shit, dude, because he just don't give a fuck, man. He's out there fucking cigarette in his mouth and just smoking them, and can play. If he couldn't play, it would just be a joke, But the dude can play, man. Yep. That's awesome. And then
it's out there like the day of and practices a little bit, and then it's like, all right, let's go.
They all fool you into thinking, oh, golf, you got to be this proper, and you got to dress a certain way, and you got to stand a certain way, and it's like this motherfucker's out there with a beer in one hand, a cigarette in his mouth, just smoking these golf balls. And I've tried to hit a golf ball. It's an accomplishment, man. It's an accomplishment.
Really
I ain't played golf in a while, man.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I got out there. I'm ready.
Yeah, I think I'm at that age now where golf is about as much as activity as I'm going to get.
I'm telling you.
And I can drink and smoke, so fuck it. Let's do it.
We'll be John Daly, dude, tomorrow.
I know, man. I didn't realize, speaking of golf, that just Tiger Woods, the type of surgeries that he had, over his career, man, that shit takes a toll on you, dude. I used to always wonder, like, how the fuck is his back hurting? He's playing golf.
Yeah,
and then when you realize the motion of swinging, because them boys ain't just, like, swinging. I mean, they're fucking, they got it, dude. And I'm like, I can see just that twisting and the torque and all. It's, I guess I can see that kind of fucking with your knees and your back, the older you get. But I remember I used to think that, like, how the hell does a golfer need surgery? Like, what the fuck is that? But
maybe it was some car crashes and the women, dude.
Oh, yeah, he did have that going on, huh?
He did.
That was about the only bad publicity Tiger got, man. We can let him slide on that one. And came back from it, because I know he was getting dropped by a lot of sponsors, man.
Oh, yeah.
And he came back. Yeah, what was he, like, cheating on his wife with, like, 37 women or some shit? Like, it was just nonstop.
I think he was, like, trying to run away from her when she called him, and he ran into the fence or some shit, drunk. Yeah, he had a bad night.
Tiger Woods.
That's Kenny, man. You ain't heard from Kenny no more?
Kenny's probably watching, that little bastard. Get on here, Kenny. I seen somebody was saying that the government, not officials, but just government employees pay, like, at max, like $3 for every prescription they get. Like, that's the most they pay.
For who now? I'm sorry.
Government employees. Oh. And I'm like, why the fuck do they get that kind of health care?
Motherfuckers, they got the money to pay for a full price. Fucking fucks.
I mean, man, I see why a lot of people want them government jobs, man. They just get up in these politics and all, dude. You got it made, dude. Man, you got it made. It's like, and I think that's part of what, like I said, the pushback with everything going on with Trump right now is a lot of these people have just been coasting through life, and there were certain goals that you wanted to attain when you became a politician, and Trump's or Elon really is starting to take away some of those goals, which is just wealth, being able to funnel this wealth somewhere. And that's why a lot of these just dirty, greedy people were attracted to this, political game. And I think that's
agree.
Why they're hell bent on stopping this guy. And it's just crazy that it took getting that far, and just how fortunate we are really for someone like Elon to come along. And no matter how much they hate him, it's just a perfect combination of Trump, Elon, hopefully Cash. I thought I was going to say Pam Bondi. I'm starting to kind of I'm on the fence. But Tulsi Gabbard, she's another one. Yeah. She's out there kicking ass and taking names. And it's just what a perfect storm to hopefully just get this country back on track, I mean, we need it.
If it doesn't wake you up, man, just by exposing this bullshit, with these politicians, it's incredible, man. Premium health care, retirement packages, Insider trading. God, I wish I could get my hands on some insider trading.
Me too, man.
Boy, you ain't lying. Give me some tips, man. I'm with you.
Absolutely.
Hey,
man.
Donnie T got the ceasefire done, huh?
Did he?
I think so. I think they were reporting that today.
Tell me more.
That they agreed on the ceasefire, Russia and Ukraine.
Really?
They said, congratulations, Donnie T.
Let's look it up. Yeah. Pull that up, Jamie, please.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Ceasefire.
That would be cool.
President Trump did the impossible. He just secured a ceasefire agreement with Ukraine. President Trump deserves an apology from every liberal and fake news reporter.
Yes.
That is true. Look at that. Ukraine has agreed to a 30-day ceasefire. What happens on the 31st? Incredible work by Trump team. Now, if Russia agrees, Trump may have gotten ceasefires in the Middle East, Europe, in his first 60 days. And that's kind of what I was talking about with, these people of ours that are being imprisoned in these other, countries, wrongfully imprisoned, that there's only certain administrations that can get away with that shit, and he's not one of them.
Right.
It's like even with this tariff game that's being played, there's an end result Trump has in mind. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
And he knows in every little dispute, every little negotiating that's going on, he's got the upper hand. We're the fucking United States of America.
Right.
We're what everybody wants to be and where everybody wants to be. You know what I mean?
Well, we saw that with the 30 million people that decided to come over,
Yeah, I mean, for all of our problems, I still believe we're the best and the most powerful nation on earth.
Yes.
I'm not saying we're perfect, but I just think we're the best. And we've got we're holding all the cards, man, because it's mainly because of the consumption of goods that we're able to have in this country. Right. Well, it comes from places, and these places don't want to lose that. Whether it be the oil that we buy or just this crap that we're buying from China and everywhere else. I mean, no matter how you look at it, we're still buying it.
Yes.
We're buying it by the billions, if not trillions, So these countries don't want to lose that. And that's what a lot of people forget when they start bitching about what Trump's doing when he starts playing hardball with these people. You saw that in the beginning, how Mexico talked their shit for about a week, and that was it. You know what I mean?
It's over with.
And now I see Trudeau trying to play the same fucking game. He's threatening to cut off power to certain fucking cities that are, and it's like that right there is reason enough to go in there and take over that fucking place.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like now you're threatening that. Okay, well, guess what? Now you don't control it.
I'm still confused. Why are our states buying power, electrical power from?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've heard it's because it's like we buy power from Canada cheaper than what we sell our power for.
Yeah, that's the problem. Everything's fucking cheaper than being, produced here. From medicine to now you're telling me the power that we're buying, the car parts, you name it, that's part of the fucking problem, man. Mm-hmm. Now, it's a problem because we're not willing to work for nothing, which is cool. I don't want to work for nothing.
No,
you know what I mean? But that is what the point I was talking about earlier is how bad does it get if everything is being produced in America? Can we even afford it is what I'm concerned with. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it works itself out.
Yeah, it's just so weird. Like, we're making power here, and then we're selling it off to wherever we sell our power to, and then we're buying Canada's power to basically replace that supply because we buy it from them cheaper than what we sell it to whatever other country we sell it to for.
That's retarded.
And if you look what Biden did, I mean, he shut down like over 100 power-producing plants in this country, and it's just... I've never understood that, and of course, it was all about the global. I mean, the electric initiative and the global warming and all that crap. And I don't know. I say, we're talking about if you bring in infrastructure and manufacturing back to this country, I think our country needs to be independent of everybody. I do. Not to say we'll always need goods from other countries. I mean, that's just the way it is, dude. But I think we can somehow produce, if it's prescriptions or because you look at most of the prescriptions that we use, where does it come from? China. Most of our prescriptions, pharmaceuticals, come from China. I mean, what if China just woke up one day and like, I'm just going to cut the United States off with, or we're going to limit what we're going to send to the United States, you know?
Right.
What kind of catastrophe that would be, you know?
That's the same place our viruses come from, huh?
They produce everything over there.
They make everything.
No, you know, I tell you where it really showed how bad it was during that pandemic when, you know, when the world was shut down and we couldn't get anything because we didn't make nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? We couldn't get nothing.
Exactly.
People couldn't get their meds they were trying to get. I mean,
Toilet
car
paper.
parts. Like car parts still aren't back to normal. Some fucking reason. I don't know why, but you know, it all started from that because everything is produced somewhere else. So we rely on that so heavy. And look, I mean, I get why these companies are doing it from a profit standpoint, but that's the bind it got us in, you know?
Yes.
When is Walmart going to quit being bitches and open back up 24/7?
Oh, man, you remember that, huh?
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, you could just go like on some drunken binge at 2 a.m. Like, I got to go pick up some pizza rolls.
Not no more.
Not no more, man.
COVID ruined that.
No, I bet the employees don't mind. Fuck working overnight, man.
Lazy. Why don't we deal more with nuclear power? I've heard that it's like the cleanest power.
Yeah, it's got such a bad rap, man, and it's really
Chernobyl?
not. Yeah,
Is everybody still scared?
Yeah, apparently, but I'm sure it's a you know, if you trace back the root of what the real problem is, it's something to do with money. I mean, you know what I mean?
Probably.
It's got to be because nuclear is a clean energy.
Yeah.
And if these environmentalists and these, you know, people are so concerned about, you know, the environment and saving the planet, then that's something that they should be looking into more heavily.
Really?
And I don't know if
100%.
it's just, like I said, it's got a bad rap or if there's some financial reason behind it. But I'm with you. It really isn't pushed, is it? Yeah, political reasons is what Mario was saying.
Political reasons, absolutely.
Yeah, we see you, Mario.
It's the only thing I can think, man, because I've heard time and time again that it's you know, cleaner, safer than coal. It's cleaner and safer than you know, windmills, and it's cheaper than solar, and you know.
Yeah, well, it is, and it produces, you know, enough power to do whatever we need it to do. I mean, it's fucking nuclear energy. I mean, it's you know, let's see, we've had ways to reuse nuclear waste and turn it into electricity, but we choose not to. That's true. And,
absolutely.
You know, and the more you start paying attention to all of this stuff, everything is you know, pretty much just driven by, you know, what's going to make somebody the most money. You know, it has nothing to do with what's best for society or best, you know, to keep our country running or even our planet. As much as they, you know, try to act like their concern is this global, what they want to say, a global problem of the environment, you know, going to shit. And they don't really give a fuck about that. It's a money grab.
Right.
I mean, you saw that big time when I was coming up with Al Gore's dumbass, you know. I mean, it's just another way to convince people that we need funds for something. And it's worked. It's worked. It's made a lot of millionaires.
Right.
You know. And
that's lobbyists have a lot to do with it too, man. You know, if it's the coal-fired industry or natural gas industry, oil industry, all that stuff, you know. Yeah, I mean, they pay a shit ton of money to lobbyists to pass laws not to use nuclear, but and I mean, even Entergy, man, I think that, don't they own Taft Water for 3, you know? So I think they have a nuclear power plant and down here by us, you know, but it's the safest way, cleanest, you know?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I've been seeing this I say kid on TikTok, but he's probably, I don't know, 21, 22, but he built almost like this, I mean, big ass long still in his backyard, and he's taking plastic waste and refining it down and making, it's not gasoline, they call it plastiline because it's a fuel source, but it doesn't burn as well apparently as gasoline. And I mean, this is just a dude in his backyard making this shit. So if you had a corporation with a few $1 million behind them, I'm sure they'd be able to figure out how to, you know, clean it up better and make it burn better. And that's you know, I don't know why we're not using something like that as a source to get rid of plastic waste.
Yeah, because of the lobbyists in the oil industry, you know. Just like hydrogen, I believe that's probably one of the next waves that are going to come, but they're going to have a big battle with the oil industry, you know,
because
you're taking money out of it.
Come and fade away.
I mean, they got outboard motors now that run on hydrogen, man. Honda's got a big hydrogen program coming out.
I think they had a Toyota car that ran on hydrogen. You could get hydrogen at the pump and shit. And some people are scared that your hydrogen tank's going to explode, but
you know. I mean, I remember growing up where it was, what was it, LP&L or NOPSI back in New Orleans, where most of their vehicles ran on natural gas, you know? So, and they've kind of done away with all of that, but
Is the story about the guy, he made an engine that would run on water?
I heard they killed his ass.
And then he died.
Like, he mysteriously, I think, shot himself like 7 times in the head or something.
Yeah, he just
something
vanished.
crazy.
I think the byproducts was what, oxygen and like hydrogen gas.
I
and
did.
That was it. And
I want to say that is a true story as far as him. Yeah, him dying or whatever. And you know, which a lot of times it's not. You know, it's not so much they'll kill you, but they'll buy that shit from you and then they'll shelf
never
it.
release it.
Yeah, they'll just shelf. They do it with medicines and shit. You know, it's like,
so I guess he wouldn't sell.
It may be. Honestly, may be. Right. You know, but it just seemed fishy that he come out with that and all of a sudden he's missing because I mean that was going to put a hurting on the car industry. That shit gets out.
Imagine you run your car on water, you just fill it up with the water hose and roll.
Just go. God, can you imagine? I mean, we all have access to it, and that's what they didn't like, you know, because it ain't even like electric. Like you could say, well, you know, they do electric, but you still got to get these batteries. They cost a fucking fortune because of the cobalt in them. I mean, it's crazy. So it's not the same as just hooking up to your garden hose, you know, being able to drive down the road. You talk about put a hurting on the industry, man. And, but I did hear that, and I did hear that he really did, you know, pass from mysterious, you know, kind of ways, but. You know, or odd timing at least. Yeah. You know,
but
very odd timing.
Yeah. That's
he made like one video on it and was gone.
Done. Yeah. Keep that shit to yourself, or sell it when they offer. Take the offer.
Yeah. That's some shit you gotta sell to your friends. Like, here, I'll make you one. You know. Y'all
that's crazy. How did it? So what did it do though? How did it generate power out of? I mean, you're a scientist.
So there was some kind of chemical reaction that would turn the water into some gaseous form that would burn in the motor.
Is that like shit way too smart for this show?
Yeah, it's way past my chemistry degree, but
way past the
it was something along those lines. There was a process within the car that would, you know, turn the water into some kind of gaseous state that would burn, and then the exhaust was just oxygen.
Well, let's look it up. Water.
So it's like driving a tree.
Driving a tree, water power vehicle.
Well, it's kind of like the same concept of hydrogen. You know, what they call it, blue fuel, I think, is what they call in the hydrogen. You know?
And the pumps are blue too.
Yeah, and that's the byproduct. It's just condensation.
Stanley Meyer, known for his claims of developing water-powered vehicle technology, died suddenly in 1998 from a cerebral aneurysm while dining at a restaurant. Well, I guess they passed away in a restaurant after claiming that he was poisoned, but the official cause of death was ruled an aneurysm. So that's official, guys.
Right.
So, we can't question that or we'll be next.
Right.
Not fishy.
No.
There's no verifiable proof that Meyer's water power car technology worked. Yeah, that sounds like something a car manufacturer would say, you know.
Absolutely.
And we didn't work, you know.
Right.
Shortly. Yeah, look at that.
Researched it after he died. And
his death occurred shortly after meeting with 2 Belgian investors. Some supporters of Myers believe that he was assassinated to suppress his invention. It makes a cool story, whether or not he was or not. But
I believe it.
It does seem. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. We're gonna spread that at least. So,
right.
I mean, we don't feel like I got time to fact check all that. We're just gonna spread it. Well, hell yeah, dude. Well, what else in this crazy world? What's Elon talking about? Yeah. Elon.
You've been listening to the white girl rap beef, dude?
No, dude. I can't.
Catch Me Outside and Travis Barker's daughter?
No, I seen that little girl claim she made $50 million.
Damn.
Which one?
Danielle, whatever her name is, to Cash Me Outside.
Yeah.
$50 million. She was on one of the Barstool Sports podcast, and you know, and he was, of course, asking her if she invested it back in the business, and her mind just like it was like deer in the headlight. She's like, "What you mean invested back in the business?" You know how they talk. You know, they try to sound as stupid as they can. I guess they think that's how black people sound. To me, if I'm a black person, I'm very disrespected by you talking like a fucking idiot.
Right.
You know?
Right. Isn't that the truth?
Because that's what they do. These white girls, they try to talk as stupid as they can because for some reason they think that's black. But either way, yeah. So she had no idea what the hell that meant, investing back in the business. But she stood by it, saying she's made $50 million so far. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Off of acting like an idiot on Dr. Phil. Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure her OnlyFans has made her most of that money, but still, you know, she would be a nobody if it weren't for that show.
Yeah, she got popular off of
That's crazy.
Yeah, the New York Post, man. I made $50 million. Don't call me, cash me outside, girl.
Yeah.
That's
50
incredible.
million.
50 million, dude.
That's
Wow.
crazy. Yep. So anyway.
Well, she's catching up to us.
She's getting there. Anyway, all right.
I guess she didn't give none to her mama. That's why she was whooping her ass in that house.
Yeah, mama didn't like her. Well,
Catching with some upcuts.
Unless y'all got something important to say, we getting out of here.
Like and subscribe, man.
Yeah, all that good stuff. We are BSing with the guys, and we are out of here. Next week, same time. Y'all check us out.